Hey guys, the doctrine this week is election. It's one of those topics that is either embraced by Christians, or it may be something that we've all kind of tried to not not linger on, not really reflect on a lot. It's kind of a harder topic. It's not a fun one to talk about like prayer was, or faith even. I mean, this is one it's a little tough. It was tough to read about, and it's just tough. So just if you're in that place, then just know that you're not alone. And I'll ask you later in the talk to maybe take those concerns and those questions and just take them to God and see what He puts on your heart about it. Anyway, there are many aspects about this doctrine that escape human understanding, and they should be trusted to the absolute knowledge and perfections of God. He is just in all of His actions. Before the creation of the world and before they had done anything, God chose those who would respond in faith. However, God's sovereignty and election does not negate each person's responsibility to believe. When God draws people, He works through their individual faith. God's prophecy to Rebekah before the birth of her twins revealed His election of Jacob, but not Esau. And He declared the destiny of their descendants. I think that was the rough thing too, just knowing that not only him, but his descendants, that the destiny was formed. God, in His perfect wisdom, goodness, and justice, calls specific people to faith. People are so ruined by sin that without God's intervention, they are unable to respond to the gospel or seek God on their own. God must bring spiritual life to a dead heart for anyone to be saved. All people, those elected for salvation and those who do not come to Christ, are equally undeserving of God's grace. All people are not treated equally, but God is just in His actions. When I do not believe, I am left to earn God's favor, which my imperfect attempts cannot ever accomplish. And I see God as a harsh and unfair rather than unexplainably gracious. But when we believe the truth that God chose us for salvation, we come before Him with humility and gratitude and not pride. We trust the infinite knowledge of God with what we cannot understand. We are secure, knowing nothing we have done deserves salvation, and nothing we can do can take that away, because we are in right standing with God. So as a leader, how do we apply this? God's choices in election are never arbitrary or unjust. He can be trusted with what we cannot comprehend. So how do you respond when the mysteries of God confuse or alarm you? God is beyond us in every way. Human thinking is limited, yet God knows everything. No one faces eternal condemnation who has not rejected God's revelation of Himself. God can be trusted to bring just judgment on individuals and nations. No one receives salvation because they deserve it. The truth about election highlights the mercy and grace of God. No one who comes to salvation deserves to be chosen by God. He extends mercy because He is merciful. Does God's undeserved favor on you, the fact that He elected you to come to faith, humble you? People sometimes struggle over the Bible's teaching about Jacob and Esau and the doctrine of election. God receives all of the glory for every believer who comes to faith. His work, not human effort, brings spiritual life. So, if this is a new and challenging teaching for you, will you honestly bring all of your hard questions, your thoughts? Take them to God. Pray about it. And can you trust God with your hard questions? Can you trust God to always act justly? Y'all have a good week. See you Friday morning.